Good afternoon, Kahnawake. Ryan Montour here, first time elected council chief, my first term, 90 days here. Gonna be here today to provide you a couple updates from my portfolios and what I've been doing my first 90 days. Started off, obviously introductory to the new council table, meeting my colleagues and getting acquainted with the systems and functions of Mohawk Council of Kahnawake. For me as a first-time chief, it was an eye-opening experience, just the magnitude of the organization in itself. I couldn't wait to get started. I was a very hands-on person. I really wanted to get to work, and we had to do a number of functionary functions that the council does do through the orientation and training. We also had a trauma training for this council term. We were one of the lucky councils that we did have a governance manual. I made a remark like, what'd you guys do before we got here? They said we went by on the fly, basically. So I'm happy to say that council has been doing great work for the new chiefs, and we're ready to hit the ground running. So my primary, I do have two portfolios. The number one portfolio that I do hold as the chief portfolio is public safety. It was released that I was a public safety portfolio chief before even all the other ones were released, because we had a certain amount of public safety issues in Kahnawake at the time, that it was paramount that I would be involved. Some of those pertain to the protests and other issues that we needed to identify. Well, who is the public safety portfolio chief? So my name did come out, and I did have to go into basically training and working right off the fly right away. One of the main issues was the passport vaccinations, the proof of vaccine. That was a big contentious issue. I'm glad that we are working towards it to be better, to ensure the safety and health of Kahnawake. I understand, I hear all your concerns about it. I can stand here today and say that we have moved out of the red zone. We are into yellow zone. We have 6 cases. There's still a lot of work that we need to do as a public safety unit, public health unit. There was some problems that were identified that we have come up with a plan now as the portfolio chief, which would be involving not reinstating the task force, but reinstating the Public Safety Commission. So Band Council portfolio chief, myself, and Arnold Boyer, who's the health portfolio chief, will meet weekly with the public health team and the Commissioner of Public Safety, Lloyd Phillips, and Lisa Westaway, to express community concerns, council table concerns. We're trying to blend where we mix public policy and public health. There's a fine line there where public health makes a recommendation or a directive, and we just have to make sure that council is involved. The community members are heard through their council members. So we have re-implemented that with the head of the fire brigade, Arnold Azar is a person, Dwayne Zachary. So I think we're going to work through those problems that were maybe minute problems, but working towards the future, we're going to get it better. My other portfolio is regulatory boards, commissions, and labor portfolio chief. This was a portfolio that never really got off the ground because within this portfolio chief, the files were very large. Involved in that was a cannabis file, tobacco file, gaming file, ABC file, very large files that took on a life of their own. So I did take the opportunity to put my name in the ring, so to speak, and to help get this portfolio section under wraps. I've been a couple work that I have already started was reaching out to the labor unit, along with Mike DeLille. Mike DeLille will continue to be the labor unit, the labor portfolio chief. Tanya Perron will continue to be on the cannabis file. Cody Daibo will continue to be on lands. What I can say is we are making steps. We are making steps to better the service within the labor department. We have a proposed tier system that I will be meeting in the near future to propose for the MSI to cover everybody in Kahnawake is covered from MSI. We're trying to make it where we have industrial rates, commercial rates, residential rates. So that work will continue. For public safety, a couple of issues that I've been involved with that mandated me to come to you guys, give an update. We did have an issue at the CP rail crossing at what they call Hawk Avenue. The tracks are basically spreading apart a little bit, not by Transport Canada's safety standards, but by CP rail safety standards. It had to be done because the last thing I wanted for our community is to have a train derailment. So there was some issues that we did work through with CP rail to ensure that the citizens and the people that are caught on the other side of the tracks would have access and mobility and not be stuck on the other side of the tracks for 12 hours. We did work it out. We came on a plan that involved knocking on doors and putting letters out, explaining to the people. I think there was like 10 houses out there that were affected, and it was inconvenience on a weekend for them. You know, my job was to ensure that we did provide taxi service to bring them to the tracks, and we had emergency plans set up for ambulance, fire, and police services if need be, where the CP work crews would be full aware within 3 minutes. They would be able to let down the tracks and put an emergency ramp over. All these little things that we have to ensure for the safety of the community. I did work in the railway industry for 3 years, so I knew it was paramount to get this fixed. And the last thing I want is a train derailment on my shift and as public safety portfolio chief. So we did allow them to complete the works. You know, it wasn't CP's fault. It was one of their subcontractors that went across protocol, but we worked as a team together along with peacekeepers, our legal, and our public relations. So I want to say a job well done. We had incidents in our hunting grounds up north. We had at least 3 different incidents that, you know, played a big role in public safety. I want to give a shout out to the caretakers. They went above and beyond the call of duty. They recovered a missing person that was out in the bush for about 7 hours within 1 hour of receiving the call. You know, so our public safety departments are working. Fire department, police, caretakers up there. They found the person within 1 hour, safe and sound. When you get a situation like this, there's always positives and negatives. You know, there were some equipment needs that were identified. You know, so we're definitely working on that through the lands unit and public safety combined. So we're going to make sure that the caretakers up there have all the equipment they need. Obviously, we had the unfortunate accident that happened up on our territory up there. Another incident that signified some of the needs that the caretakers have done, but they dealt with that, and then of course the wildfire. It was a string of unfortunate incidents that happened within our community, but the caretakers and their immediate thinking and their training and their plans has contributed to no lost lives with the fire and the lost person. Tragically, we did lose one with the hunting accident. I'll take this time to give my condolences to the family. I try to always make learning experience from tragic circumstances. So I think in the future we will be putting out more blitzes for hunting safety tips, you know, revising the emergency preparedness plan for the territory up north. Anything we can do to prevent such circumstances as this. I also took the lead on the housing portfolio. This is one of my strengths that as a civilian, before I was on council, that I excelled in. I took it because I really think we can make a difference. We do have good news coming with the housing thing. There is 5 areas that I know we have to work on. You know, overall strategic direction for the housing. I did meet the new housing director, very smart woman, and we're gonna work on communication strategies for the housing program, social housing, mortgages, blended mortgages, credit and collections, and you know there is work to be done to housing unit, but there is good news coming. I won't say what the news is because it's not official yet. So when it is official, I will. I've been working with the local contractors to get their input on MSI and tendering processes for the housing industry. I'll tell you here now, it is a priority for this council. Housing is a priority, one of the 5 priorities that we want to accomplish this year. We understand the needs of housing, we understand the drawbacks of housing, but housing, in my mind, is going to be one of the best units in the MCK in 3 years. I won't make a promise, but I'm going to work at it very hard to make that happen. I do have a co-counselor on the file with me. Mike DeLillo has decided to basically take me under his wing and guide me. You know, he has a lot of experience and knowledge, and AJ Rice has taken the lead on the portfolio, which falls under community-based, the community affairs portfolio. So I think the 3 of us combined, I think we're going to turn around that unit with our new executive director and our new housing unit director. A lot of good things coming with housing. I'm excited. I'm ready to get to work. I've been on the work for like 2 weeks now. Besides all the training and orientation, a lot of things are happening, and I can't wait to get started. Okay, so I'll be back in a couple months to update you more, hopefully with the news that I know is coming in the housing sector, public safety. We're going to continue to grind. I want to send a message to people of Kahnawake that we are almost there with this pandemic. You know, we've just moved from red to yellow. We're in it together, always. Every last one of us. It's always us together. You know, I know there's frustration and mental fatigue. We have to just grin and bear. We will get through this. I promise you this. We will get through this. And for us as a Mohawk council, we do have a brand new council, a brand new leadership. Great things are coming. I promise you. Thank you.